Yeah, let's deliver the donor list. The machine accepts the data upload. Only a few minutes later, a certified credit stick is spat out of the coin slot. The phone's old LCD readout displays the text, Freedom, Equality, Information, Shockwell and Ryder. What does that mean? Like, I just want to... Shock... Wellen... Ryder. Okay, so Shockwell and Ryder is the German title of John Brunner's novel, The Shockwave Rider, which is about a hacker in a dystopian America. So apparently that's where it comes from. It means Shockwave Rider, but it's apparently based on this novel that I don't think I've ever heard of this one, but good to know. Good to know. Walk away. Now, how much did that give me? Yay! Slightly more. During wine cellar? The wine cellar? Let's see what Amsel has to say here. Before we head off on our next job. Hey, Blitz. We're not talking to you, really, because you're kind of useless to me. Ah, but who's the good boy Dante? You look down to see a pair of bright eyes looking at a scruffy face looking back up to you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down at those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. Play dead. It seems he doesn't know that one. What about sit? He sits. Ah, yeah, you get a pet. Lady Jaxi, welcome back. I have news for you. In your absence, I've been looking into the Harfeld Manor. Whatever Feuerschwing is up to, it is both large-scale and well-funded. I've uncovered a money trail leading to the old holding companies all over the world to an offshore fund with a dummy address. From there, all that freshly laundered money flows directly into the Harfield estate. Why would a dragon have investors? Are you kidding? This is Shadowrun. The dragons run for public office and play the stock market. How much money are we talking about? I can't name an exact figure, but we're talking about a lot of money. In the millions of new yen, most certainly. Whatever Firewing is planning, she has access to all the resources she'll need to carry it out. But Firewing was different. She didn't scheme or plot. She acted. This is true. She was, despite the fact that she was probably a great dragon, I doubt very much. Everything we've been told about her historically is that she just, burninated the countryside and burninated the village. Not so much the Machiavellian approach. Yes, and look at where it got her. When the Firewing launched her attack on humanity, it was an act of hubris. She lashed out because she didn't consider our species to be a threat. It would be equally hubristic for us to assume that she will make the same mistake twice. I will continue digging into this while you and your team tackle your next run. Good luck. Oh, with luck, I will have information to share upon your return. Sounds good, Paul. Oh, one last thing, Half-Lady Jaxi. Malit was able to restore a readable service on one of Green Winter's DVDs. If you would take a look, you'll find it sitting beside the player. I'll check it out. Very good. Malit is still working on the other DVDs from the bundle. Many of them are extensively damaged, and getting anything off of them is proving to be quite a chore. She told me that she'll be in touch if she makes any headway. Thank you. We're gonna watch a movie. We're gonna watch a movie. We're gonna watch a movie. Load the second DVD. Oh wow, this one also has a lot of tracks on it. Green Winters appears on the screen. The timestamp reads 2054-11-11. Alright. I said in my last recording, I've been having trouble finding hard facts on Fire Shrine. So I thought I'd open things up a bit. Let's see what the rumor mill has to say. The screen jumps and Winters reappears in a different location. He's now clutching a mug of soy calf in both hands. There are bags underneath his eyes. Well, that was enlightening. Assuming any of it's true, that is. So for the past 5 hours, I've been poking around some of the crazier fringe theories related to dragons in the SOX. As a reminder, the SOX is an irradiated wasteland between France and Germany. It got zoned off back in '08 after the Cattenom GAU reactor meltdown. Anyway, there's all sorts of rumors. I want to know what SOX stands for. Probably not something in English, given the fact that it's between France and Germany. I am curious. Anyway, there are all kind of rumors floating around about the place. I've heard stories about the walled city in there that operates on the survival of the fittest, kill or be killed basis. Like there's some sort of nightmare inversion of Berlin. All of the anarchy. None of the stability that the flux state provides. The radiation poisoning, cancer, mana pollution are just the icing on the cake. So when Adrian helped the Luftwaffe shoot Fire Schwing down, she crashed into the SOX. That much is well known. What isn't well known is all of the modern day myths that have arisen about her since. Tonight I've heard an earful. Chatted up with a girl who claimed to be a ghost rat. That's a smuggler that operates in the SOX. She told me about the dragon cult called the Disciples of the Cleaning Fire. Apparently these cultists worship some sort of radioactive ghost dragon. Could be Fire Schwing, or could be nothing. But it's worth digging into all the same. Another thing about the little ghost rat told me, the popular rumor in the SOX is that Fire Schwing's astral form was, well, I guess you could say, mutated by all of the background radiation. Some of the glow punks out there said she'd shed her body like an old coat. Others say she's trapped, doomed to languish in an intangible radioactive ghost. I don't know how much credence to give any of this after all. I don't have any proof that my ghost rat is even a ghost rat. She might be, well, she could be just a run-of-the-mill glow punk. Or maybe she's yanking my chain. She's never been to the SOX at all. Who knows? Well, it's food for thought anyway. I don't know whether some radioactive ghost dragon thing is any scarier than a genuine dragon is, but it's interesting all the same. But now the big question. Will any of this get me any closer to finding Adrian? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, but you never can tell. Right, track 2. This is from the next day, 2054-11-12. Alright, let's continue thinking outside the box. After the Dragonfall, the great dragon Kaltenstein came flying into the SOX to rescue the Firewing, but he was driven off, some say, by Lofweir and Nebelher. I've never heard of Nebelher, but I'm assuming a dragon. Lofweir I am well familiar with. Lofweir is one of the big players of the Great Dragons. Actually is the CEO of a corporation, I believe, at this point. Based out of Germany, no less. So what if there's another dragon involved in all of this? Winters grabs a thick, leather-bound tome from the shelf behind him, licks a finger, and begins to leaf through it. Alright, so let's run down the list of major dragons that could be helping her. First up, there's the Golden Worm, Lofwer, the CEO of Seder Krupp, and quite possibly the single most dangerous being on the earth. Lofwer's a local boy, so he's in the position to help Fireschwang. He certainly has the financial capability to help her. He could send a small army into the SOX if he wanted to. He's definitely got the means. I can't see how he'd have the motive. He's actively prevented the Firewing's rescue back in 2012, after all. Same thing is true for Nebelher, so let's scratch both of them off the list. He flips a page, frowning. We've got Aiden, the Great Surush. He's operating out of Turkey. By all accounts, he's not a fan of Lofwer, and if they're actively competing for territory in the Middle East. I suppose that's considered a motive. Reviving the Firewing could cause some problems for the Golden Worm. But why would he risk a war with Seder Krupp by straying into Lofwer's territory? I don't think it's likely. There's Celadir out in Wales. He's pretty heavily invested in the Transys Neuronet, so he's got the money. But he's too busy dealing with the BTL killer scandal that the Transys is going through out in London to get his claws dirty in the SOX. Point of reference, for those unfamiliar with the setting, BTL is, or Beetles for short, are chips that you can slot in your data jack that are essentially highly addictive. BTL stands for better than life. It essentially gets you high and gives you a vision and puts you in a fantasy of better than life, you know. Flip Dunkelzahn in the UCAS. He pauses, shakes his head, then slams the tome shut. No, this is a waste of time. I'm trying to think. Yeah. The Big D would be still around at this point. So, Dunkelzahn, the last one he mentioned, who is in the UCAS, was part of a very large meta plot in Shadowrun that leading up to Dunkelzahn not only running for, but being elected president of the UCAS. And then on his inauguration night, he was assassinated. Which was kind of a big deal because great dragons don't just get assassinated. Like, in the astral plane of the world, it left a hole because of, like, a great dragon dying. It's not something that's easily accomplished. It became a huge thing in the meta plot of, like, why did it happen? How did it? Who pulled it off? It's one of the bigger mysteries that's going on. There's a whole novel trilogy about it. Not to mention it kicked off what goes on with Dunkelzahn's will, which sets off a whole bunch of adventure things because his will leads more like a scavenger hunt clue list. To whoever finds blah 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 in the blah blah blah, riddle riddle riddle, you get something from my vault. That kind of thing. Great set of adventure hooks, though. I mean, if you could find a copy of Dunkelzahn's Will, great adventure hooks. I'm pretty sure you could transplant those into, like, any other tabletop RPG, probably. Or at least roughly. But it's an old book, so I don't know if you'd be able to find a copy. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced. The Firewing is acting alone. Dragons don't cooperate unless they absolutely have to. After all, why bother making nice with your equals when you got an entire planet full of pawns at your disposal? They don't need to work together. They have us to exploit. True. While track 3 clearly does load, it's clearly corrupted. The screen fills with meaningless stream of text. Jixel. 123, 123, 123, 123. Ash. This file is partially garbled. You can recognize a few words here or there, but they're clearly interspersed amid solid blocks of corrupted text. Vauclair and Irewing, still my big bro, swear to, Leon, I will find you. If it's the last thing, I swear, not getting any close. New research, turning up. Oh no. Okay, what's the next one? More gibberish. Correction, the same gibberish. I'm like pretty sure actually. Finally, the screen goes black and the same digital chime that you heard on the Dragonfall DVD plays again. A crackle of static now fills the air, followed by the same now familiar electronic whine. A few minutes later, the display goes live. Vauclair looks haggard. His eyes are heavily bagged and bloodshot. His hair is misused. He holds a cigarette in an unsteady hand. Hermie, it's me. I can't sleep. I don't know where you are, out having fun, no doubt, maybe flirting with one of those unattainable beauties that you're always chasing. He tries on a smile, but it quickly disappears. He takes a drag on his own cigarette. That's good. I want you to live a pleasant, normal life. After all, one of us should. Who wants to tell him? Vauclair rubs his eyes. I can still smell the smoke, Hermie. It's almost a year later, and I can still taste the stench of burning corpses. When I sleep, I hear the sirens and the screams. There's no sound in this world as horrible as a burn victim's screams. The doctors would call this PTSD, I'm sure. They'd have me in therapy. Maybe dose me up on SSRIs like they do to our veteran soldiers. Chuckles, takes another drag. Quite a story for the tabloids. The great dragon slayer, Adrian Vauclair, mentally incapable of wrestling with his own demons. No. No therapy for me, and certainly no medication. I have a reputation to live up to, however poorly deserved it is, and how little I want it. The dragon is still alive, Hermie. Of that I'm certain. And one day I will find her, and then perhaps I'll be able to sleep through the night. The display goes black, and the background whine fades away. A moment later, you find yourself deposited at the menu screen. Wow. So we more or less have been ruling out that the dragons, the other dragons are supporting it. It was nice to see like a who's who of the other great dragons, though. Check inboxes. Ooh, a job about hijacked shipments. Metbach Gunari to Half-Lady Jack Z. If you value new hardware coming into the cruise bazaar, we need to talk. One of my weapon shipments was hijacked by a local gang. I can promise 500 new yen if you can recover the shipment. I'll have some new gear on the shelves. Come and see me. Oh. What's the Alice Fund looking like? We are 1/10 of the way. Jobs directory? Claim payment for the Humanist data steal. Here's your payment as promised, Beckenbauer. Payment from client? 22,500. Nice. Deductions for crew salary, 6,000. Okay. Ammunition and resupply costs, 1,500. Automatic deduction for Alice funds, 11,250. Remainder sent to Half Lady Jack Z's account, 3,750. Okay. Half Lady Jack Z, here you will find a complete transcript of my conversation with Herr Schmidt, a potential client. As you'll see, the details of the job are a bit more vague than I would like, but the payout is quite substantial. After reading the transcript, you can choose whether or not to accept the job. One other thing, Herr Schmidt provided me with a device to assist you on the run. He calls it a little black box. Apparently. It can be used to compromise the power and the security systems of the run site. If you opt to take the job, be sure to take it with you. Amsel's image flickers and winks away. A moment later, a glowing blue text field begins to scroll up from the screen. Greetings, Herr Amsel. I trust that the connection is secure. Naturally. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? Call me Herr Schmidt. Very well, Herr Schmidt. You have some business with me? Indeed. I have a job for your team. A simple matter. Judging by what I have heard from your team, imagine that they will be well suited to the task. Go on. The interests that I represent are concerned. I've learned that AG Chumi Europa is working on a company-wide project. Something very secret, very new. Reliable sources inform me that they're keeping a working prototype of this new venture at their Berlin facility. I see, and your employers wish us to acquire this prototype for them? Naturally. What is this project? If you want my team to grab the prototype for you, they'll need to know what they're looking for. I'm not at liberty to say. I can tell you that the prototype has been branded Mark 6. I can also tell you that your team will find it on the 25th floor of the Berlin facility. That's in the office of one Albrecht Haushofer. Further, I can assist your team in disabling the building's security and gaining access to the 24th floor. From there, however, they'll be on their own. Such vagueness can be dangerous, Herr Schmidt. I will not commit my team to a run without a better understanding of what the job entails. Facing such dangers is the purpose of a Shadowrunner, Herr Amsel. Your team will be rewarded handsomely. My employers have set aside 20,000 new yen for the job. Consider it hazard pay if you wish. Make it to 25,000, or go look somewhere else. 22,500. Final offer. Very well. I will pass your offer on to my team. Are there any other details you can provide? Haushofer's office will be locked behind a vault door. The lock is old-fashioned, of the mechanical variety. I will provide your team with a copy of the key. I will also supply you with a little black box, a solid-state device that your team can use to override a variety of building systems. Your team will enter through the facility's underground garage, and when your team has acquired the Mark 6, have them exit through the same garage. I will have a van there waiting to extract them. Thank you, Herr Schmidt. I will pass your offer on to my team. Good day, Herr Amsel. Yeah, we'll take the job. You take the little black box from the desk and pocket it before returning to your tent screen. Alright. Well, I think the bigger thing we need to do is make sure to stock up on equipment, gear, anything like that. Because right now, I have not much of anything. I have some guns. A shotgun. I don't know why I have a shotgun. I don't have training in shotguns, do I? Yeah, I don't have any training in shotguns or rifles. Just pistols. Let's see here. Do I want... Don't have spell casting. Honestly, yeah, probably just investing in biotech would probably be the best idea. I am gonna take a level in rifle though, just simply because I think for a long range approach, pistols are nice because they're close range, but honestly, if you want to do something long range, I also have advanced drone kit, which I don't need because I don't have drones. Where did my Ares Predator? There it is. I don't need the machete. I'm good with... Take the Predator. I might as well be the one that takes the Predator. It's a pistol. I have pistol training, and I'm the only one with the pistol training that also has a data jack. Hey, Iger. You want to be my buddy? Her rifle has been field stripped and lying in pieces on a sheet of butcher paper. Arranged in a neat row along the side of the paper, bottles of copper solvent, bore cleaner, and lighter fluid. Our fearless leader returns. What do you need? Any thoughts on that last job? After all the moral ambiguity that we've been wading through, hitting Humanus was incredibly satisfying. What they had planned makes my blood boil just thinking about it. The thought of Stahl lying dead on the ground brings a smile to my face. I hope he enjoys rotting in hell. Thanks, Iger. I mean, in terms of... I just don't know where we would get, like, healing items. Oh, that's the Ubon. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is the guy who had a job for me. Welcome back. You need some weapons? Some ammunition, perhaps? Ah, you said something about a missing shipment? Aye, a gang from the nearby Keys has been hijacking shipments bound for the cruise bazaar, taking money out of all pockets. I could use your help. Stop this from happening. Your dear Monica used to provide encryption and information control for the cruise bazaar. Now that she's gone, we merchants have been having no end of trouble. The obvious answer is that the gang has been intercepting our communications. What kind of communications? Shipping manifests, payment orders, that kind of thing. A group with an agenda could use that information to set an ambush. That's just what the gang has been doing. Several cargo trucks full of goods have been hijacked en route to the cruise bazaar. I had a tracking device planted on the last shipment that it sent out, containers full of weapons and medical supplies. Sure enough, it was taken. And now I've tracked it to Gesenbrunnen. You've never been there. It's a Keys built out of the old U-Bahn station and some old bunkers. Rumor has it a new game called the Robbin is holed up there. I suspect the two things are related. So I need you to go to Gesenbrunnen, find the Robbin and get our goods back. I can offer you 500 new yen for the task, and if you can recover our weapon shipment, I'll be able to sell you some better hardware too. I'll take care of it. Good. It's about time I had some new inventory come in. Oh, and one more thing, Half-Lady Jack Z. I'm gonna need you to go out in... You to go in the light on this one. Take a friend along with you if you like, but no more than one. If you spook them, they could trash the merchandise. Best to go quiet. Best to go soon, too, before the trail gets cold. Alright. That's the pharma. So we've got 4 different jobs currently. We'll take this one, because this one seems like probably the easiest, cleanest one. I'm gonna take Iger with me, because Iger freaking cleans house. Why do I have 2 smart... I mean, what? I have no idea why I have 2 of those pistols. Like, one doesn't even show up in my inventory when I look. It's just built in, I guess. And I have 2 of them. A short train ride to Gesenbrunn. You exit the subway car, stepping into the old, grungy platform. The place is deserted, though. Signs of life are everywhere. A gaping hole in the ceiling filters cool, hazy light from above. To your right, a small plot of crops struggles to endure in the cold and limited light of the station. Trash and junk litter the platform. It's clear this place hasn't had anything resembling a janitorial staff in some time. Somewhere in this old rundown U-Bahn station lies the entrance to the Gesenburg Keys. And hopefully some leads onto the whereabouts of the Robbin and Gunnari's missing shipment. I really don't need a lot of this stuff. What kind of shotgun? This is 12 damage. This is a much better shotgun. They have a garden down here? The old fluorescent lights barely keep the plants alive. Almost no one's this far underground. Oh, wow. So they're using fluorescent lights to glow a garden? Stairway down looks like completely collapsed. Well, we've found someone who appears to be a guard. That is far enough, friend. An older man raises his hands, squinting as you approach. To his left, a young orc shifts his weight, resting one hand casually at the pistol on his hip. Both are dressed in what you would consider uniforms, but it's hard to tell for sure. We don't get many visitors down here these days. And you'll forgive me for saying, well, you don't look like the type that usually comes through here. He looks fed. Oh, this is the orc. He looks fed, for one thing. Indeed. What brings you to the Gesenbrunn, stranger? I'm from the Cruise Bazaar. We think a gang in these parts, calling themselves the Rabbengeister, hijacked a shipment belonging to us. You hear anything about that? A gang, eh? Man looks over at his partner, then back at you warily. No, we keep security pretty tight around here. If a gang was running around stuff right here, we know about it. Now look, we don't want any trouble. Why don't you just move along and catch the next train back? I mean, if you got nothing to hide, you should let me in. That's not gonna happen, stranger. Now I think it's time that you let me be. Maybe we can work on a deal. 100 new yen for your trouble? The older man tries to keep his face neutral, but you can tell you've gotten his attention. Oh, so you think you could just buy us off? Is that it? Look, you guys could use the new yen. I could use a look around. That's all. The guards exchange glances again. The man lowers his eyes, muttering something underneath his breath. Fine. Make it 200. I could double that and do... Oh, each. I mean, I've got like 3,000 something, don't I? Like, here, what am I up to? I got like 5k. I can drop 400 on trying to skip this fight. Not to mention get in good with these guys. The younger orc eagerly snatches the cred stick from your hand. The older man sighs and steps aside. Just watch yourself, okay? If you cause a scene looking for this gang of yours, there's going to be our little militia here that you want to mess with. Look, I'm just trying to do right by my people. I'm not looking to start any more trouble than necessary. Honestly, I think it'd be great if we could get through this job without anything having to worry about, you know. There's a person over here. Goldfish. His name is Goldfish, chat. You know I've got to talk to Goldfish. The woman starts a little at your approach, but she quickly recovers and beams brightly at you. The fox face on her headdress seems to grin as well. Her classically nasal American accent is obvious. Hey, kiddo, share a drink with me? Sure, you're buying. Awesome. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of options here. You've got beer, homebrewed gin, and schnapps. Pick your poison. I've been drinking gin and tonics. The tonic cuts out some of the gas flavor. I think they've been distilling it in an old propane tank. Yeah. I'll go with the schnapps. Sure thing, guy. He sides a tumbler full of sweet-smelling pear schnapps down your way. It's warm. So what's a girl like you doing in a place like this? Oh, I'm just traveling through. I heard there was a market, but... Well, just look at this place. She waves her arms around in a wide circle, taking everything into the sadly shimmying woman up to the near empty corridors outside. I'm just having a drink with this fine gentleman here and then moving on. Where are you from? California Free States. Doing the whole Europe tour thing, you know. Besides getting me out of the hellhole, it's been a real good learning experience. Had some good fun, too. Made some good friends. She clatters the ice around her drink. You can smell the cheap gin from where you stand. But it's a hellhole everywhere these days. Can't drink enough to forget some things I've seen. I'm all for communism and anarchy and free love, but sometimes the F-state goes a little far. What do you mean? Well, it's just things like turf wars, and the racists and junk, like those humanist assholes. Unpleasant. But that shit aside, I like the idea of a state without the man. Listen, my name's Goldfish. What's yours? No, I have to ask, where'd you get the name Goldfish? Because it looks like you're a fox shaman. Oh, because, you know, there's a saying, memory like a goldfish? Because I'm blonde, people think I'm just like that. Plus, they call my twin Guppy. So, Goldfish made sense to me. So what were you hoping to find down here? Robin Hood? The Rabbengeister, actually. Raven ghosts? Might be anything in Gezenburnen. It seems like everyone down here is just a ghost. Ghost of the past, ghost trains, ghostly, thin folks, pale for the lack of sunlight. I need sunlight too. I like to joke that I photosynthesize, but it just gives me so much energy. Energy these people just do not have anymore. Her expression grows stern for a moment as she stares into her empty gin and tonic. Maybe I've been down here for too long. Maybe I'm a ghost too. Alright, that's it, Fraulein. You're officially cut off. Total is 36 new yen. Can I at least buy something for my friend here? He's been talking with me a bit, and he hasn't had anything. No, you're cut off. I don't want you even sipping out of it. Dude, chill. Forget I asked. She turns to you with a shrug. Sorry I couldn't get you anything else, but, thanks for being a pal. I didn't know what to expect with a name like Goldfish, but, I mean, I thought that was actually a pretty clever backstory for, like, why she has that nickname. Because, yeah, she looks like a fox shaman, right? You know, the fox had said... I don't even know if she actually is a shaman or not, but... she definitely looks, you know, like she's... But yeah, that's just kind of a great little... I wonder if she comes back at all, because it just seems like... If not, that's an amazing lot of fleshing out they gave for, like, a complete side character that just blabs a little bit. It doesn't even give you any relevant, useful information as far as I can tell. So now that we've talked to Goldfish, I feel very much informed. There's a ladder back there. Something back there. Uh-huh. This looks suspicious. Drawers seem to be handmade. Rusty sheet mill. Nothing of value catches your eye. Okay. Because it looks like this was like being like, don't touch our stuff or we'll fight you. Okay, what's up with you, dude? The man before you is of average build and nondescript dress. He's leaning against an old wooden cabinet reading a book. As you approach, he looks up and casts a warm smile in your direction. Guten Tag. The name is Corin, friend. Can't say I've seen you around these parts. Just passing through, or... I'm looking for information. You ever heard of the Rabbengeister? Certainly. They've been spinning quite the tale these parts lately. Hard to know anything for sure, though. One rumor says they hijacked freight out of Frankfurter Tor. Then the next day, you hear about sighting down at Alexanderplatz. Just yesterday, I heard someone claiming that a member of the Rabbengeister speed by in the U-Bahn tunnel, cleaning the sides of a train car. He leans in closer. Between you and me? That's probably a gang called Surf Turf. Strange ones, those. I heard they implant suction cups into their hands and feet. I guess they just really like hitching rides on the U-Bahn trains? That's the flex state for you, though. Full of the strange and unexpected. You heard anything about a weapons shipment? Wish that I had, friend. It's too bad. This place used to be soaring with commerce. But now, hardly anything passes through here, I'm afraid. Folks around here are lucky enough to have a full meal at the end of the day. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope things turn around for the better soon. Yeah, me too. Thanks for the friendly words, though. Most people come through here and are either looking to bum a quick handout or steal what they can before disappearing down the line. Is there anything I can do to help? No, I don't think so, friend. But I thank you for the gesture. The man squints at you. He looks thoughtful. Say, have you ever heard the story of Schinderhannes? Was that like Cinderella? Schinderhannes was an outlaw centuries ago, back in the Napoleonic days. You see, Schinderhannes was a thief, a greedy one, if you believe the stories. He and his gang raided up and down the Rhine, stealing for themselves. But then something happened. The people of Rhineland, they were inspired by the Schinderhannes. And the time they hailed him as the hero. He was stealing from the French, you see? He chuckles and then continues. I think something happened then, something surprising, even to the Schinderhannes. I think because of this, he became the hero people wanted him to be. Maybe he did not start stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. I don't know. History books are confusing, to say the least. At any rate, the point is this, my friend. I think that maybe, if enough people believe in something to be true, it can change the truth of a thing. Perhaps if enough people here in the Gesenbrunnen have a hope to believe in, then our fate will change as well. Till then, we continue on. Don't you mean Robin Hood? Ha! No, you would think, but that is an altogether different tale, I assure you. Much more romanticized. How was it different? Well, for one, Robin Hood wasn't stealing from the French. You know what? I'll give it to you. That's true. Alright. Is there anything down here? There's like a little creek. No, I can't get down that far. But there's a little room over here. With the odd merchant and the shopkeeper and the guy with a gun. Crate appears to have been pried hastily open. There's partially torn shipping label. But the words Cruise Bazaar are clearly labeled. Ooh. Hi there, stranger. Got a sale on today. Would you like some rations, salvage, maybe some home remedies? There seems to be a crate behind your shop that was marked for delivery to the Cruise Bazaar. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? No? I don't know anything about crates. Are you looking for some, backup? It's just here, friend. Okay, look. Yeah, the Rabengaster came by yesterday, asked me to move the rest of these medical supplies, then they disappeared. I don't know where they went. But, you know, I gotta make a living too, so look around here. They leave me this kind of score, I'm grateful. I already sold most of it in less than a day. Plenty of folks around here are looking in need of real medical supplies. Alright, I told you what I know, so we're cool, right? I don't need to know anything else. Well, I mean, I wouldn't bust them on it, but quite honestly, that's not what I'm looking for. You said there were medical supplies, right? Well, those medical supplies were supposed to come to our keys, but here's the thing. I wasn't hired to find medical supplies. I was hired to find weapons. So, times are tough. These people seem to need the stuff. You're not gonna hurt me? Well, thank you, stranger. Not everyone's so understanding around here. Look, if you're looking for the Rabbengeister, try the old information kiosk on the other side of the market. I've seen some people coming and going from there. Thank you much. Oh, they sell NERPs here. I don't know what NERPs are, but I see them a lot in these games. This appears to be an old U-Bahn information terminal. Judging by the system design and current condition, it's quite old. As you approach, the machine makes a series of sputtering noises and dust-covered screen flickers dimly to light. Time since last update, 5207110522. Error, primary database not fine. Restarting in offline mode. Restarting. The screen goes dark as the machine begins to emit a bizarre variety of clicking and chirping sounds. After an interminable amount of time, the screen finally shudders back to life. Welcome to Gazenbrunnen Station. Please select an option from the menu below. Data corrupted. Data corrupted. Station history. Route information. Data corrupted. Enter custom query. Please enter your custom query string now. We need more information. I bet you anything, based off what they were saying of the coming and going, there is a keyword. You notice the scuff marks on the ground as if something heavy was dragged across here. The marks vanish into the wall. Inspect the wall. You find a small seam in the wall that suggests there might be a passageway hidden in the wall here, but there's no clear mechanism for opening it. Maybe we should ask around. This looks like the place, so I'm sure someone will spill the beans. No, good point. No need to cause a fuss. If we can get in without causing problems, I'll take it. Hello, Mr. Militia Captain. Oh, Mrs. Militia Captain. I'm sorry, your model looked masculine. My bad. The militia captain stands at alert, her eyes tracking you across the market before coming to rest on you. Guten Tag. What's with the scuff marks over there by the kiosk? I wouldn't know. I'm not in charge of cleaning around here. Hell, nobody is these days. The way things have been going, hopefully our luck will return sooner or later. Be nice to take some pride in this place again. I know they're hiding something back there. She stiffens. Then suddenly her light rifle is leveled at your chest. Fine. I don't know who you are or what you're doing snooping down here, but you better come with me now. Our leader's going to want to speak with you. Her free hand reaches down to produce a thick leather blindfold. I can resist, I can inquire, or I can just go with it. But you know what? They've got a gun pointed at my chest. I could fight. I could probably take the hit, hopefully. But at this point, even then, surrounded by at least 3 other dudes, let's just go talk to your boss. We were looking for them, I believe, in the first place. If I'm thinking they're right, who they are correctly. That is a smart decision. She reaches out to blindfold you, and the world goes dark. It's the same man you met in the market, but friendliness is gone from his face. In his place is a cold, unwavering gaze. You should have stuck to the market, stranger. If the Robbin Geister wished to be found, we'd open a fucking cafe. Now what do you want of us? Say your piece. So yeah, let's see. I don't know, it looked like an invitation to me. You didn't want to be found, you might want to hide your tracks a little bit better. I'm from Cruise Bazaar. You stole a shipment of supplies bound for our keys, and we want it back. He stares you down for a long moment and then breaks into a chuckle. I guess we were a little careless on that one. I figured with Monica Schaefer gone, the Cruise Bazaar would be an easy score. So that's why you're here? We stole your shipment, now you want them back? Yeah, that's about right. Which I completely understand, stranger, believe me. But unfortunately, we need the supplies more than you do. So I will graciously decline your offer to relieve us of your property. I can see things are hard around here, Corin. I have to look out for my own keys, and that shipment belongs to us. And I can graciously give you one chance to give them over before I shoot you in the face. Or you could just attack them. I'm going to try to talk to him, because he seems like they've been cool with us. They've been cool with us. There's no reason to escalate yet. I can see how things are hard around here, but we got to look out for our own. Not from where I'm standing. Look, there's no need for bloodshed. I'll tell you what. It seems like you know what it's like to look out for keys like this. It's not easy, right? We provide these people. A haul of the shipments a haul like that shipment keeps Gesenbrunnen from going hungry for just a while longer. It's our home, our people. I suspect you feel the same about the Cruise Bazaar. So I'm prepared to let you leave. Just like that, knowing our little secret and everything. In return, all I need you to do is walk away. Walk away and forget this ever happened. What do you think, stranger? I didn't want to do this, Corin. You put me in a situation. I can't walk away. I have... On one hand, I took the job, but on the other hand, it's only paying 500 new yen. I would pretty much just make back my bribe money. Whereas these guys definitely seem like they could need it. If he agrees to, like, look, we'd be cool, I can sit there and go back and tell him, like, we never got the job done or whatever, but... I'm torn because I'm usually the type of person who really, really wants to do the job. You know, I got paid to do the job. Now the downside is I'm surrounded by 5 people. I'm torn on this one because this is definitely a conflict where it's just kind of like I could go one way with it. We can be the good guys, or we can be the job, do the job. It also doesn't help that I'm a decker. Like, if I was a street samurai with... I would have no problem just busting it out here with 2 on 6 or 2 on 5 or whatever. But I'm a decker. I have got, like, no defense. I've got a little... I can hack them to get a better hit on them. And I have no healing items. Now, I'm going to have to go with it. I'm going to have to go... I'm going to have to just say, we'll walk away. Let's just not mess with each other again. We cool? We cool, Corin? We cool? You've got my word on that. All right. We got it handled. And we also got an achievement, apparently, for settling the whole thing without killing anyone. Not exactly the way I would have liked that to go down, but choices were limited. What can I say? Yeah, we gotta go and tell the guy the bad news. I'm sorry. This was not the way I wanted this to shake down. I didn't get your shipment back, but I made it so they won't steal anymore. Does that work? Is that at least something? Indeed, that's good news. We're able to retrieve the shipment of weapons they stole as well. They agreed to stop hijacking supplies from now on, but they won't be returning the stolen shipment. Peh. And you just let them get away with this? The Rebengeister steal to support their keys in hard times, and I do the same in their position. I'm not about to start a war with a neighbor over a few guns. Easy for you to say, it's not your merchandise that's being stolen. But I suppose what's done is done. I won't question your decision. And I still got paid! Wow! I was not expecting to get paid